MSc in software engineering. As an Indian, we should always have a right.
You have to be an engineer or a doctor first.
Yeah, exactly. First become engineer or doctor, and then
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
when you are good in any performing arts, right?
They like
Especially
yeah.
singing,
Yeah,
because singing doesn't require
taking something.
Okay,
Yeah.
dance is a little less, right? They cannot say, oh, you know what? Let's show me the dance, but they can say, sing.
Yeah, sing 2 lines and show me.
sing to us and
Everybody
show me.
says
Yeah. There are great artists here, but I don't think there is a media covering them. There's a kind of a lack of media
yeah.
because
yeah.
there are because I think it's also because of the population, right?
Absolutely.
We are only 2% in
Exactly,
USA.
yeah.
I tell them that, hey, I'll start. I could play 50 songs from 50s,
Yeah.
and believe me, we play songs from 2000s, and then they don't recognize.
Yeah.
And then they
Oh my
still
gosh,
recognize Raj Kapoor's song.
And like driving on the road is less stress
Less
than
stress.
India. I used to drive there, so I know the.
Don't you like that?
Navia Entertainment presents the NRI podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to second episode of what's the name of the show? The NRI podcast. I just put this because I don't forget what's the name, so I can read it. I have a very, very talented Rini in front of me. Rini, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. Thank you for coming, first of all, and thank
you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So this is our second episode. The first episode was with Neil, of course, and I know you through Neil, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Good. How was the traffic?
Not bad.
Not bad. Right. So I have your journey so far here, right? So it says that professional diploma in electronic production and design from very reputed Berklee College of Music. I mean, it's not written that it's very reputed, but I know it's reputed. MSc in software engineering. As an Indian, we should always have a
Yeah.
right.
You have to be an engineer or a doctor first.
Yeah, exactly. First become engineer or doctor, and then
Yes.
and then in your journey, shifting Indian classical element towards pop and jazz sensibilities in a refreshing, organic way. New Jersey-based, Chennai-born singer, composer, and violinist Harini, aka Rini.
Yep. That's right.
Good. Yeah, and then there is a much more, but of course we'll get into that later on. Right. So, Rini, I would like to ask you that you were born in India, right? I
That's
thought you
right.
were born here first. So when did you come to USA?
So I moved about 12 years ago in 2012.
Oh, 2012. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And so how was your childhood? Let's talk about that. So and you are based on what city in India? Chennai.
In Chennai, yeah.
Okay.
I was born in Chennai, went to school in Chennai. I learned Carnatic music, South Indian classical music from a very young age. My grandma used to sing and play the violin. So in my family, my cousins, my brother, everybody was learning. So
How about mom, dad?
mom and dad, they sort of sing, but they weren't like properly singing. And
Let me
learning,
guess.
yeah.
Are they like in academics they did really, really well?
Sort of. My dad is a chartered accountant, so
Okay,
yeah.
see, yeah. Good.
My mom is very good at math. So yeah, she was
Oh.
a math teacher, so they definitely went more on the professional
Okay,
side.
okay.
But yeah, my grandma taught me and my brother like the basics, and then we went and learned from a guru for a very long time. I learned until I finished school, like 10 to 15 years, I was learning music.
Okay.
And through my school, I was singing. That was like my main side cultural activity in school. Very bad at sports. So I was like, singing, I'm in, okay, I'm coming.
Okay.
So I was doing that. And so growing up in India, it was, like film music,
Yeah.
A.R. Rahman, 90s.
Oh, yeah,
A.R.
yeah,
Rahman's Beautiful Roja and everything. And before that, Ilaiyaraaja.
Okay.
And then after I finished school, I went to college in Coimbatore.
Okay.
And there I also got into like performing more of film music. And,
Okay.
and then I came back to Chennai. I did computer science there,
Okay.
software engineering there.
Okay.
I worked
In
for a little bit.
Coimbatore?
In Coimbatore, yeah.
Okay.
PSG Tech was my
Okay,
college.
okay.
And we had a music club, and so I was very actively involved in music there.
Right.
So it was always like music on the side, which was sort of there. And only after I started working, I could take control of my life and say, I
Right.
wanted to put music, in
Right.
front and center.
Right.
So I said, okay, I have this option of this. So I had to explain to my parents how, hey, I have a backup. Now I can
Right.
get a job. I can make money.
Right.
So now let me go study music.
It's
what
very
I really
funny
wanna
because
do.
Neil said the same thing.
Yeah.
That his parents told him that, first have a like proper job and then think about making this full time?
Yeah, I mean, I see their point. As parents, you want your children to,
Right.
have their own. And we come from middle class. We're not
Right.
very
Right,
rich, and
right.
like
Of course.
so yeah, we don't have money to go back on if
Right,
you
right, right.
fail as a
Right, right, right.
music career. And I think it's also the lack of awareness of the music industry because
Right.
in the we didn't have internet growing up, so
Right.
you didn't know what were the other careers. As we knew playback singers, and
Right.
like we knew that was very hard to break through unless
Right.
you were a
Right.
daughter of a playback
Daughter of
singer
somebody,
or
right.
knew some actress or
Right, right,
that
right.
industry was just really hard.
What
So
age did you join start learning music?
at 4,
At
I
4.
started at 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Same thing with Neil. He said that he started at the age of 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think I was very because my brother was already learning. It was sort of easier. I'm the
Also,
younger
elder
one.
brother.
My elder brother.
And how
Yeah,
many siblings?
just one.
Just
Elder
one.
brother.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had cousins also who lived near me who were
Right.
also learning. So I
Right.
think I used to listen to him practice, and I used to try to sing myself without even
Okay.
going to classes
Okay.
because I just found it very interesting and I wanted to do it.
Right.
So yeah, at 4 I started, and then I started going for lessons. I think maybe 5 or 6.
Oh,
Yeah.
and you started with singing lessons or
Both
instruments?
actually, violin,
Violin? Okay.
and singing. My
Okay.
brother was doing both, and my grandma knew how to
Okay.
play as well as sing.
Okay.
So I did both.
And any influence from your grandparents?
My grandmother definitely. She used to
Okay.
make me practice. Like
Okay.
it's not just about going to classes, right? You
Right,
need
right,
to
right.
practice, and
Right, right, right.
she used to always like make us sit and practice and
Right,
make sure
right.
we're following up on every class, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know,
While
yeah.
performing good in school, right?
Oh, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
also like you need to. I mean, you cannot just say that. Oh, now you're a singer.
Yeah.
You gotta do academics.
Yeah, absolutely. Academics and in India, I mean, I think what we were my parents were very religious, and so on any occasion they'll be like, "Oh, sing." So it's practice has to come,
Right,
and
right.
I'm just singing in front of people and performing all the time, and
Right.
they're just putting me up for a show all the time. So I had to be ready. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
it
think
was
that
just part
they
of
do
my
that. I mean,
yeah.
when you are good in any performing arts, right?
They like
Especially
yeah.
singing,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
singing doesn't require like
Taking something with
okay,
you. Yeah.
dance is a little less, right? They cannot say, oh, you know what? Let's show me the dance, but they can say,
Yeah,
sing,
sing 2 lines and show me.
sing 2 lines and
Everybody
show me.
says
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. They do that. So
Yeah.
that's like, I think it's amazing how all the Indian, all the Indian houses are like
Oh, yeah.
very similar,
Very similar,
in terms of
very.
very strict parents.
Yeah.
Then if you want to do like full time, if you want to go full time artist, then they just want to make sure that you do well
Yeah.
in engineering
Yeah.
and medical or something. You have like a proper job
Professional
first,
degree and yeah.
and then just start as a side hustle
Yeah.
until you make it big, and then once you make it big, then you can quit.
Yes, absolutely.
It's all
But I think that's changing now, though.
right. Okay.
It's definitely, I think today, in this day and age, there's so many more options as well.
Right.
With internet, being a YouTube star is a thing.
Right,
that
right.
never existed
Yeah, yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah.
There's just so many options out there, and people are more knowledgeable about music careers and
Right.
what you can do.
Right.
And it's easier to break in. Like
Right, right.
everybody's into introducing new voices, even in like playback singing, or
Yeah.
but that's not just a career that you're looking at. There's also like being a music engineer,
Right.
performing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
composing. So much
Absolutely.
there.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
I think
And there
it's
are, I
helped.
think I also saw like content creator, right?
Yeah.
People use that word, a content creator.
Content creator,
and
absolutely, yeah.
You see that them as a like they are earning some amount of money, of course.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
And I,
yeah.
I feel like there are less people who make it big.
Mm-hmm.
More people are trying, but at least it's an option.
Yeah, I mean, and I think big is also not comparable to the money you make.
Right, right.
Sometimes you might be making, a lot of money in music, but not be popular.
Right.
I've met so many artists who have a consistent, source of money from music, which really like has a good, comfortable life, but they're not
Right.
like popular. Like
Right.
you don't have to be the top 1%.
Right, 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 right. And then, so after you finished your school and college,
Yeah.
then when did you? So what was your first like a? When did you earn like first, like let's say not check, but let's say first event that you did and you were get paid. I mean, you were paid.
I think I was when I moved back to Chennai and I started doing gigs with other people. We did get a lot of paid shows, and in Chennai, the venues were limited where we could go perform. It was mostly weddings, and
Right.
those.
Right,
So
right,
those
right.
were all paid.
But in
paid
an
gigs.
orchestra.
Yeah, in a band, yes.
In a band, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
in a band, I used to go and like we used to get paid. Those are all like paid opportunities, and then actually my biggest thing was I was part of a singing competition. It was called
Oh.
sort of like the America's Got Talent
Got
sort of a
Talent,
thing.
right.
It was called Hari Udan Naan, where singer Hariharan was sort of
Nice.
the main thing. And in Tamil, this means
Oh,
with
in a
Hariharan.
regional channel.
In a regional channel, exactly. It was called Jaya TV, and it was very much in Tamil Nadu only.
Okay.
And it was all in Tamil. And when singer Hariharan is Tamil, so he was sort of like the main person. And I came until like the top 12 finalists, and so we had like a lot of interactions
with him.
With him, and like he arranged some Hindustani vocal lessons for us, and so that was all very encouraging. And then through that, I got to record a jingle for A.R. Rahman sir.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
oh,
so
you
I went
did?
to a studio and like
That's
recorded
awesome.
a jingle call for the car, Toyota's Etios Leva.
Oh, okay.
So me and another girl.
It was in a regional language?
This was sort of in English.
English.
Oh, well, actually, it was Hindi, and like the chorus was sort of in English.
Okay.
So they were looking for like a westernish sort of a singer,
nice.
and so it was nice. Like that was a great experience because we went in a studio and like
because I think over here people don't give too much importance to all the big artists. I mean, they don't really care sometimes.
Yeah.
Some people, of course, there are some exceptions, but in India to get access to artists like Rahman is a very difficult.
Oh yeah, totally.
To get a hold of like a A.R. Rahman or Hariharan or to talk to them one on one is not an easy thing.
Not at all.
When
We
you have
so
like a
many
1 point,
people and everybody's trying to do it,
Right,
right?
right.
It's so hard to get
That's
through
amazing.
to. Yeah.
So what do you think? I think in terms of art, I mean, how powerful you feel with art? Because I feel like art is very powerful.
Absolutely. I think there is so much you can express with it. And I think I've made it, it's felt more powerful after moving here as a form of representation. Actually, like once I became an immigrant here, now I'm like, I see, so many people who've born and brought up here, like you, I guess you were born here.
No.
right?
Actually, I grew up in India.
Oh, okay.
I came
On
here
leave,
when
I guess.
I came here when I was 24.
Oh, okay.
So I got
see.
married here.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, so many people, the next generation who are like born here, and you're looking at people, you want to look up to people who look like you in like mainstream music, and I think definitely that it helps to like music really helps to be there and out there, and you can take other issues, other social issues, everything. When people are actually looking and listening to you, you have their attention. Then you can talk about social issues.
Right. And that's the one thing that I found, right, that there are great artists here, but I don't think there is a media covering them. There's a kind of a lack of media.
Yeah.
Because there are, because I think it's also because of the population, right?
Absolutely.
So we are only 2% in
Exactly,
USA.
yeah.
The mainstream US media is not going to cover us. They don't
Absolutely,
care.
yeah.
And then 2%, I mean, whoever would cover would not get break even.
Yeah, very
so
true. very
that's
true.
one of the reason. Otherwise, in terms of being a full-time artist, there is enough market. There are enough of us.
Yeah.
And increasing.
Yeah,
So let's see.
absolutely, yeah.
So hopefully future is bright.
Yeah,
Hopefully future is
totally.
bright. And then you also wrote here that Rini received a 2023 fellowship from New Jersey State Council on the Arts, and is part of the 2023 Grammy-nominated record Shuruat by Berkeley Indian. So tell us something about that.
Sure, yeah. So I came to Berkeley in 2012, and it was amazing. Just a
So
world of...
one second. So you came here to study music?
Yeah,
in
I
Berkeley?
came here to study music.
Oh,
yeah.
full time.
Yeah, I quit my job in India, my developer computer science job.
Okay.
And moved
Were you
here.
married at that time?
No, I wasn't. No.
Oh, you were. You met.
I met my husband back in India, but we got married after I sort of finished Berkeley.
Okay,
Around the time I finished Berkeley.
Okay.
But yeah, so I moved here in 2012, and it was just amazing, just like meeting musicians from all over.
Right.
It has about 35% international students. So just like, music from all over and amazing talent. Like it really humbles you as to like how much talent that's there. And to the point that you're lost, you're like, okay, what am I even doing here?
Right.
But there I met Annette Phillip, who's the founder of the Berkeley Indian Ensemble. And she invited me, and she said, you should be part of the ensemble, and we should create music. And the idea of the ensemble was to sort of have a very inclusive way of performing Indian music, including everybody who's not Indians. Teach them how to sing sargams, teach them how to sing konakols, like everything from it.
So in Berkeley, there was they were only focused. So you learned. What did you learn in Berkeley?
So I learned a lot of things. I learned jazz composition. I learned arranging. I learned conducting. I learned electronic production, which is like performing electronic music. So these are all my core curriculums. And apart from that, I did vocal lessons. It's like private lessons. And then apart from that, you have ensembles, which is like basically bands. You can choose what kind of music you want to play.
Okay.
So one year I did the Middle Eastern music, which is like such a beautiful, a new thing for me. And I was trying to add Indian music into that and understand it from my Indian classical music.
Yeah.
And then I did Afro pop ensemble, like Fela Kuti, Femi Kuti. I learned of new artists, new music. So it was just like, I think, very,
it's a whole
enriching.
new world.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the Indian ensemble was, Indian ensemble was that for others who were not Indians.
Okay.
But again, it needed Indians to also be part of it to help people understand Indian music. So, so I was also a part of that. And that's when Rahman sir, Berkeley gave a honorary doctorate to Rahman sir in like 2014. So he came and we performed with him in the Boston Symphony Hall.
Okay.
And we
with
also
Rahman?
With Rahman sir.
Oh, nice.
And then we also recorded a song, Jia Jale, with him.
Yeah,
I played violin on it. I sang in the choir.
Oh, nice.
All of that. And which has like from 85 million views now or something.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, from 2000, we recorded in 2014, I think. Yeah, and then the show was then. And
okay.
Yeah, so the Indian ensemble became very popular from that. Right. And since then, we recorded a lot of original songs and like some covers as well. Right. And we released this album last year. And we got nominated for
Which one,
the
Shuruat?
Grammy. Shuruat, yes.
Okay.
And that got nominated for the Grammys in
awesome.
the Best Global Music Album
category. Very good. So were you guys invited to attend?
So I'm a Grammy. So only Recording Academy members can go. I'm a member. Okay. And then you can get like more tickets for like +1s and all that. But few of us went. So like about 6 to 7 of us could go.
Wow.
And
how was that experience?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Oh my God.
It was last year, right?
It was last year, yeah.
Okay, so and Shankar Mahadevan got in the same
this
one?
year.
This year, 2024.
2024, yeah.
Okay.
So ours was 2023, and yeah, it was.
Very good.
It's the same. Yeah, they got in the same category. We were nominated in this category last year. Yeah.
Okay, and
they won it this year.
Yeah, they won it, right?
Yeah.
That's fine, but it's amazing, and then. Does A.R. Rahman know you? The Rahman sir know you?
Well, I don't know if he meets so many people every
Okay,
day.
I know.
I've also been part of another private show he did for 7-Eleven in Vegas.
Okay.
So sort of maybe, but
Yeah,
I
maybe,
don't know if he'll remember.
But I think sometimes they forget.
Yeah.
Because they meet so many people.
Exactly.
He's not doing many big projects currently in India, but I think he has now he's also focusing on other things.
He's doing a lot, and he's also focusing on music education there, like his KM Music Conservatory.
Right.
So recently, I went to India to tour with my band. In actually last year, and we went and did like a workshop there. I did like talking about Indian fusion and music education abroad. His school is really nice. He like gets musicians.
Oh, he has a school where?
Yeah, in Chennai.
Oh yeah,
it's called KM Music Conservatory.
Nice. So we don't have. I mean, so Berkeley is very reputed, right?
Yep.
Do we have like any equivalent to Berkeley in India or no?
It's coming up now. Yeah? So Rahman sir's school is actually pretty good, the KM, and then that's in the south. And then there is GMI, Global Music Institute in Delhi.
Okay.
That's pretty good. I'm hearing other schools, but I don't know yet what are the other ones. But there are like definitely. So GMI has a tie-up with Berkeley as well. So there are Berkeley people who go there and like to. So they can you can have like a sort of Berkeley tie-up, and like the Berkeley curriculum could be taught abroad in other countries. And,
okay.
Yeah.
That's very good. That's very good. And then you said that an experienced performer and recording artist, Harini has recorded and performed with Grammy winners, artists A.R. Rahman, right? And then you also said headlines prestigious festivals and venues in US and India, including Boston Symphony Hall, Lincoln Center. Talk to us about something like that.
So Lincoln Center. So I was part of this group called the Bollywood Boulevard.
Oh yes.
Do you know that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
so Neil and I actually met there.
Yes. Neil mentioned that Bollywood Boulevard was a big thing.
Yes,
at that time, and then you guys met over there, and he also met a couple of people that he's
me too.
With.
I met so many other musicians based out of this area, New York, New Jersey
Bumit,
area.
do you know Bumit, my friend?
Yes,
yeah,
Bumit
so he's
was amazing.
So he's also he was also part of that. So I followed it briefly.
Yeah,
at that time,
he's a great
social media was not as huge as it's right now, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was great. I think I met so many Indian people who are in the arts through Bollywood Boulevard. Hina Patel sort of put the whole thing together, and it's also like the venues we performed.
Was it profitable in terms of profit? I mean,
I don't know
what was the purpose of that?
So the purpose was our audiences were mostly non-Indian, so we were and to support history of Bollywood cinema.
Oh,
so it was great. So we actually had like it was like like a medley of songs from the 40s
40s
to
to-
like now.
Oh, okay.
Because people don't know, when they think Bollywood music, they think EDM,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah,
recent
yeah,
songs.
yeah, yeah.
So her whole appeal for it was that, there are beautiful songs from the past that
Absolutely.
you would never heard of.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we had Pyar Hua,
Yeah, yeah,
all of
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like we started from the black and white and
Yeah,
like we
yeah.
came to the
Come
latest
to-
hits and of course
then
came
people
to the EDM
and
hits.
then dancers are performing on.
Exactly. So
That's
the
a great-
dancers had costumes on, which were like,
Right.
and they had a black and white background. So it was like,
Yeah,
multimedia,
yeah, 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 yeah.
beautiful backgrounds, and then,
Right.
yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
everything, yeah.
That's amazing. And I think, see, one thing with music is that I do emceeing sometimes, and I play some songs and I ask them to identify tunes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I play Pyar Hua, Ikrar Hua,
Yeah.
and all those, right? And then some people said, "Why you're playing so old songs?" I said that because I said when I mention them and when I explain them the rules,
Yeah.
I tell them that, hey, I'll start. I could play 50 songs from 50s,
Yeah.
and believe me, we play songs from 2000s, and then they don't recognize.
Yeah.
And then
Oh
they
my
still
gosh, yeah.
recognize Raj Kapoor's song
Yeah.
that was made in 1950s.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Those
so amazing
melodies
because
are so beautiful.
and here is the reason that I personally think what it is. At that time, they used to use all real instruments,
That's true. Yeah.
and they used to do recording in one shot.
Yes, yes.
Live.
Yes. Very,
Right?
so very human. Everything
Yeah,
was so.
and that's the reason I feel like it's more feel.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, if you want to do that right now, then it will be very, very expensive.
Yeah.
Your budget will be tripled. But still, I feel like recording live has its charm and magic.
Absolutely.
That's what I
yeah.
believe in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. All right. So with that, I think we are gonna take one break,
Okay.
and then we'll start again. But thank you.
Navya Entertainment presents the NRI podcast. Sponsored by Lumhe Wedding Photographers, Prestige Health Services, Comfort Keepers, Blue Leaf Technologies, and Afsar Decors.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I have Rini in front of me. We just had a chai and samosa. I don't usually drink tea, but sometimes I take a sip. So, Rini, from break we are back. So, would you like to sing a very good song?
Sure. I'm going to use a little bit of help with lyrics, but.
Sure. Yeah. I can only ruin.
All right, I'm going to sing something that's in both Hindi and Tamil because
Yeah.
my primary language is Tamil. But
Sure,
I love
sure.
this one. Of course, it has to be
Absolutely.
Rahman too.
Absolutely.
तू ही रे तेरे बिना मैं कैसे जीऊं आजा रे यूं ही तड़पाना तू मुझको जान रे इन सांसों में बस जा तू चांद रे आजा दिल की जमीन पे तू चाहत है अगर आके मुझसे मिल जा तू या फिर ऐसा कर धरती से मिला दे मुझको हुई रे வந்து என்னோடு கலந்து விடு நினைவே இந்த நெஞ்சோடு கலந்து விடு
Wow. Very good.
Thank
Very good. Amazing. So, so this is like one thing, right? That all the trained singers, some people say that, hey, you also sing, you should sing. I said, I would never sing because I know what good singing is, because I know what good singing is. And some people, I think what's going on is that sometimes some people say that, I'm a very good singer and karaoke, and probably they are. But what I'm saying is that spend some years, try to learn proper music, saregama, sargam, aro, avro, right? And then you call yourself a good singer, because I know that many people who are very good singers, they are still learning.
Yeah.
It's been 15 years and they never stopped.
Yeah, absolutely. Classical music can just keep going on
Right.
and help you also sing,
Yeah.
film
Sonu
songs.
Nigam,
And,
he still does riyaz.
yeah.
Lata Mangeshkar used to do riyaz. So basically, vocal is, and I think in Kapil Sharma show, there was a one person, and then Kapil Sharma asked him that you're a musician, you could play many instruments.
Yeah.
What is your favorite instrument? And he said vocals. So vocal is also instrument. You need to know your scale, and then
Yeah.
you practice multiple time again and again and again, and then it's because it's an asset. I would
Absolutely.
say.
Yeah.
So it's very good actually. I'm impressed. Not that I already saw you performing, right?
Yeah.
But it's a dancing songs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So coming to personal level, right? So how did you meet your husband?
So I met him via a friend when I was studying in Coimbatore in software engineering. But we didn't date then. We were just friends.
So
And,
I don't even
we
know. I
knew
mean,
each other.
in
In
India,
India,
is there
dating
any
is not a
dating?
thing. No,
Right?
dating is not a thing.
Because the sequence is that in India, if you like a girl, you propose first.
Oh, exactly. And then it's just like, yeah, wedding.
then-
That's it.
Because over here there are steps, right? You date,
I
and
know.
sometimes
You get to know each
I don't
other.
get American dating sometimes. I don't know what's going on. They start living together, and then they say that now I'm proposing, and I don't know. I'm a little confused. I never even
No,
tried
I think
to
they definitely
break
give you
down.
more time to at least know each other.
Yeah,
And it's not
that's
like,
fine.
oh my God, you like someone, you just have to get
Yeah,
married.
yeah.
You
And
need
still,
some
sometimes
space.
still it doesn't work.
So exactly, it doesn't work. Yeah.
So you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
But I think, it's kind of funny. But I think I like over here, it's good that you get an opportunity to know how your life would be
Yeah.
after
yeah,
marriage,
Yeah.
And people and society is acceptive of that fact that, they are living together, give them some time.
Yeah.
And stuff
Totally.
like that. In
Yeah.
India, if you start living together, there'll
Oh,
be a
you have to
problem.
get married, yeah.
So yeah, it also depends. But it also depends upon where you are, I guess, in Mumbai
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Delhi.
Yeah,
probably would be
cities are
fine.
a little bit more open now.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But then and then also because of movies,
Yeah.
movies are also, there's a very good movie. I forgot the name of the movie, but there is a movie, Kriti Shannon and Kartik Aryan. There is a movie where they try to live live
Yeah.
in relationship.
Yeah.
And then it's so funny movie,
Yeah.
that the challenges that they have in Indian society to
Yeah.
try out
Oh, yeah.
because once you start living, then you are
Yeah.
that's like
I
different.
mean, it's very hard because your society is very involved in your life in India.
Yeah,
Everybody
they are part
knows
of your life.
everything. They're completely
They are
part of your life. So
yeah.
they'll ask you what's happening.
What's happening, and then they'll judge you.
Oh, yeah,
If you
totally.
get married and if you don't have a kid in 2 years,
Oh, yeah.
they're
It's
gonna
like, what's
what's
happening?
going on? It's funny. I love Indian
Yeah, I think
families.
conforming to things is a big thing.
Yeah,
there,
and
so
judging,
that's-
they
Oh,
judge
yeah.
you and then stuff. It's okay. I mean, I accept them.
Yeah. But anyway, so I met my husband there, and then we started. He moved here for masters after that, and then I was working in Chennai, and then we sort of long distance relationship, and then I moved to Berkeley for
Okay.
school, and then sort of in between like 2014, 2 years into Berkeley, he moved to New York. I was in Boston, and I used to come like every weekend on
Oh,
the
nice.
Bolt bus.
So he came here on a study visa?
He came on an F1 and then he got a job.
Okay.
He was in computer science as
Oh,
well.
okay, okay,
And
okay.
now he's a product manager at Meta.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah. But he moved to New York to do. So he was in California when I initially came to Boston, and then East Coast, West Coast, which is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then he moved to New York.
It's like
he
very
wanted-
similar to you're in India, almost.
Yeah, actually, it's worse. Like the 3 hours difference is the worst.
Yeah.
Really. And then he did like a part-time MBA, so he sort of used that as a reason to move to New York, and so we got closer. And,
Right.
And then we finally got married in 2014, and yeah. we moved
Nice,
to New York.
nice. Now you have one little one, right?
Yes, she's
What's
4
her
years
name?
old. Her name is Mitra.
And she's a 4-year-old?
4 years
4
old,
years.
yeah.
Okay, good. Very good. Mitra.
Yeah.
Mitra is a good name. And what's your husband's name?
Giant.
Giant?
I know, he gets that a lot.
Being in New
What's
York.
worse is his last name is Tyagarajan, and at work they're like Targaryen, like in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. There's a Giant is very, over here. Giant, how are you?
Yeah, that's why he goes by Jay. He's like, my name is Jay Rajan.
Very good. So after you came here, right, and you obviously joined music school and stuff like that. So how did you start getting gigs?
I think so. When I moved here, the Indian gigs sort of came because I was already in touch with people who used to come and perform here in Chennai. I had like a good
Right,
network
right.
of musicians,
Right,
and
right.
so when they come here, I used to go and perform with like playback singers who came here.
Also,
And
a tour. They come on a tour
they
here.
come on a tour, exactly.
Okay,
So when
okay.
they come on a tour, they were like, oh yeah, we know some girl from
Oh,
Chennai who's
nice.
already there. She can come and play
Okay.
with us or sing with us.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they don't have to spend money for the tickets
It was
and
easier for
stuff.
them, exactly.
She's already there. So you used to also travel within USA with them?
Yeah.
Oh,
Bay
okay.
Area, where a lot of Indians are, basically.
Okay, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was great. I mean, I did a lot of gigs with Karthik, the singer Karthik, Saindevi. These are all like South Indian playback
Okay.
singers. So I got like a lot of very random, gigs from that. But otherwise, it was mainly Berkeley because I graduated from Berkeley. It's like huge community in New York. So I got a lot of recording options. And then I have my own band and we perform
Oh, yeah?
like original Indian fusion music.
Okay.
So I compose like, Indian.
Also, you also compose.
I compose, yeah.
Could you sing any of your original?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more like, raga based compositions.
Yeah,
I can just
yeah,
sing a
that's
little.
fine.
Mabani sari ni sa tani pa ma pa ni pa ma ga ma ri sa ni sari pa ga ma ni da ni sa ni pa ni da pa ma pa ga ma ni sari ni sa tani pa ma pa ni pa ma ga ma ri sa ni sari pa ga ma ni da ni sa ni pa ni da pa ma pa ga ga ba ga ri ga ma ri sa ni pa ri sa ni pa ma ni da ni sa ni pa ma ni da pa ga ma ri ni sa.
Wow, very good. So I think a good thing with interviews of singers is that whenever I can just ask them to,
Yeah, can
and
you
there's
sing that
never
to
a
show that?
never dull moment. So that I love it.
Yeah, so I sing this, this Indian classical over like a very interesting rock arrangement. So my band is all
Okay.
like not Indians.
Oh, okay.
They're all from
It's
Berkeley.
kind of fusion.
It's a fusion music, yeah. So I have like a French drummer, I have a Brazilian guitarist, I have
Okay.
a Asian
wow.
Brazilian bassist and Asian guitarist.
Oh, nice.
So it's all like a mix of people who bring, rock
Yeah.
and jazz, and
Yeah.
and then I have electronic instruments as well that I run.
Yeah, it's
and
amazing.
So
And
yeah.
then so other than USA and in India, you also I think performed in UK some I
In
think I
Canada,
saw you.
actually. I went
Right?
I played a
Okay, yeah,
festival called
yeah.
Desi Fest in Canada.
Okay.
It was amazing because it was like in the Yonge Dunda Square. It's like Times Square of New York.
Okay.
In Toronto.
Yeah.
And it was just like all these billboards and like a huge
Okay.
crowd and like
Uh-huh.
and Desi Fest is amazing. So it's like
Yeah.
such a mainstream thing there.
Right.
It was all like South Asian artists
Right,
and
right.
and I didn't play my original music there
Okay.
and with my band, and so it was beautiful. It was one of our
nice.
best experiences.
Very good. Actually, I know Canada is also like there were a lot of Indians over there.
Yeah, totally.
As
yeah,
well.
yeah.
So how's life in the USA? So if you would like to talk to, like, let's say for the your followers in India,
Yeah.
or your friends in India, or your
Yeah.
family in India, right? How's your life here compared to India?
I love my life here. I think it's very. I'm self-employed right now, and
Right.
like I can have my own time every day to do music or anything else that I want. I do a little bit of coding too, since I'm a computer science engineer.
Right.
I love coding. I
Right.
still
Oh,
I feel
that's
like
good.
it's a left and
Yeah.
right.
So any
part of
artist
brain.
who, I mean, if most of the Indians, right, kind of they have the certain template, right? They are good in studies.
Yeah.
They always can make career out of studies,
Yeah.
and then they do side hustle as an artist, and
Yeah.
then even if they do good, they never leave this.
Yeah, it's like it's like logic and everything. You've studied it for so many
Yeah.
years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's sort of part of you, I guess.
Second nature, right?
Yeah, so
Second
I like
nature.
doing that, and like I just don't have I don't have to climb a ladder there. Like I can quit whenever I want
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's just I'm doing it out of passion. And on the music side, I really like just the way the industry here is. I think it's very easy to work with artists. People reach out and they're very professional about things, and I work with other bands which are American bands. There's a quartet called American Patchwork Quartet. They play American folk music, and I bring like Carnatic music into that. So it's sort of like a fusion in a different sense.
Right.
And we play, we've played in the South, we've gone to Tennessee, we've got to Mississippi and Georgia.
Oh,
I've played
wow.
like all over.
Tennessee is also very good for music.
Yeah. So life here is good as a musician and as a
In general, right?
in general, like a
I
parent.
think they
with a kid.
solve most of the problems.
Yeah, it's I think it's
There's
very.
less struggle in terms of
I agree, and like
living.
driving on the road is less stress. stress
Less
than
stress.
India. I used to drive there, so I know the
Don't you like
difference.
that?
I used to
Mon-
drive a two-wheeler in
Yeah.
India, so
So I think
from
in
there,
India, what happens is if you go back to India, I think it's kind of all the memories coming back.
yeah,
So first couple of days you'll struggle,
yeah.
and but then if you drove there already,
Then it's sort of
then
easier to,
in couple of days you'll start getting
yeah,
all those memories back, and then you'll start driving.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what
That's true.
happened to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good.
So that's amazing. So another thing is that if you want to suggest
Mm-hmm.
5 Indian restaurants
Mm-hmm.
to people, 5 restaurants from New Jersey,
Yeah.
New York area.
Okay. The first one would be Adiyar Ananda Bhavan, A2B, that's in Parsipani.
Oh, okay.
Best South Indian food
Where in Sparsipani?
in Parsipani.
Okay.
And the second would be, I like Mughal Express also in
Mughal
like,
Express on
Mughal-
Oaktree Road.
Yeah. Oh, no, actually Parsipani one.
Oh, Parsipani, they have
Maybe,
yeah,
there's
they
one
have one.
there as
Yeah,
well.
they have
It
one
might
over
be the
there.
same. Yeah.
Same,
So
same.
it's
I
good.
guess. Yeah,
I like it,
yeah,
Mughal
yeah.
Express. And then Saravana Bhavan in New York.
Oh, in
The
New
New York one
they
is
have.
better than the Jersey one, I
Yeah.
feel.
Okay. I know that Jersey one. He is here on Oaktree Road as
Yeah,
well.
there's one in, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's 3. 4 and 5. Huh.
The servant bhavan, they also have like proper managers, like in India. They come manager.
Dressed.
How are you?
I don't think they're like that
yeah.
now.
Yeah,
I
I
just
don't
went
know.
to that today
Yeah.
morning. So
Yeah,
no.
good.
What else? I like Anjappar is good in New York again.
Okay.
It's in the same place as Saranabad, the Curry
Right, right.
Hill area,
Right.
28th and Lex. I think only 4 I can
Yeah,
say.
that's fine. Have you ever been to Priyanka Chopra's restaurant?
I heard of it. Sona?
It must be very expensive.
I've never
I don't
been there,
know.
no.
I never go. Because I think in New York, all the restaurants are so expensive.
Oh, Junoon, Michelin star restaurant.
Junoon?
Very expensive.
Yeah?
The one, like when
Okay,
you
good.
said
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
That one's like really good though.
Also vibe, right? I think they
Oh,
have
the
like
vibe. It's very good
Right.
because of the vibe mostly.
right,
The
yeah.
ambiance is like very
Yeah.
nice. And yeah, I think Junoon was definitely.
If it's a special occasion and if you're going there
Yeah.
once in a while, then it's okay.
Yeah, I've gone like mostly for like anniversary.
Okay,
Or,
okay.
it's a place to go to.
And then your favorite American fast food restaurant?
Chipotle.
Chipotle, okay.
I like Chipotle.
Chipotle. How about Taco Bell? I thought that everyone loves Taco Bell.
I was
love
going to
Taco
say
Bell.
either Chipotle or Subway because
Subway
I
is
like Subway.
yeah, but Subway I don't know. Subway are like most of the subways are closed now.
Yeah, but
Right.
it was mostly because when I was going to music school, there
Right.
used to be a Subway close by,
Right.
and that was pretty much my lunch every
Right,
day.
yeah. But it's good. At that time in 2008, 9, maybe
Yeah.
probably you were not here, but they had a campaign, $5 foot long.
Oh, okay.
$5 foot long,
Uh-huh.
right? And then it was a very hit
Yeah.
campaign. At that time, people were becoming health conscious and stuff like that. But I think what I learned is that there was a case in McDonald's was one of the case study in
Uh-huh.
MBA during
Uh-huh.
MBA, and they said that McDonald's tried to diversify themselves
Oh, okay.
to give people healthy option,
Ah,
but it
okay.
was a disastrous
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
people don't go there for health.
Oh, absolutely not.
They just
yeah.
go there for grease.
Yeah.
So that's the reason McDonald's like came back to fries and
Oh, okay.
So that and I feel like if it's a food industry, it's gotta be very tasty.
Mm-hmm.
If you focus much on health, then you wouldn't be able to make big.
Yeah,
Is
but on the other hand, like chopped and sweet greens have made
Yeah.
like in their own
Sometimes
space.
I think it also depends upon where you are. I think New York, yes.
True. Yeah.
But then you cannot become nationwide.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You're right.
Right, because I think people
Yeah.
Because
It's
craving.
a very niche crowd, and
Yeah,
for
people
sure,
don't
yeah.
because you need craving.
Uh-huh.
As soon, once you pass McDonald's, then
You're
you
right,
gotta make a right turn
Yeah.
and order fries and
True.
So that's the reason. Okay,
True.
very good. So how often do you visit India?
Quite often, like once a year at least.
Once a year.
Yeah.
For
Last time,
for like your music or
so it depends one or the other. So last year I actually toured with my band. I took them all to India, and like which was their first time in India, and like they actually second time for some of them. Because I toured in 2018 once, and then 2023 we played in clubs like across Chennai. We did Bangalore. We did 2 shows. We did a festival in Bangalore, and
Right.
then Mumbai, Pune, and then Hyderabad.
okay.
So yeah, it was great. And after that, I spent some time with family.
Yeah.
and then-
No,
came
very
back.
good. And I think may I ask in 2020 during the pandemic,
Yeah.
how hard it was for all the artists?
It was really hard, just like not having live shows and having that sort of that income was hard. But luckily, I had like two other sources of income, which sort of continued. One is I'm writing, I compose and produce music for like Facebook Sound Collection. It's like Meta's, they have like a music library, and it's like I submit a few songs a month, and it's like a consistent source of income. And that continued because nothing was affected by the pandemic. And then other was I compose music for Madhuri Dixit's show on
Which one?
a Fame Game. It's on
Fame Game,
Netflix.
okay.
It came out in 2021 or 22. Yeah. So through the pandemic was when we were actually composing score for it. So me and another South African composer sort of worked with Sri Rao. He's like the creator of the show. He's based in New York, so that's how I got this opportunity.
Yeah.
And but of course all the production was in India, so it used to they'll shoot and then they'll be like, oh no, quarantine here. And it's all the waves, right? So they'll be like, okay, we're quarantined. There's a big wave here. And then they'll do shooting, and then they'll be like, okay, we've done this, but we need to do this. So it's sort of something that was supposed to finish in like 4 or 5 months. Took us 2 years to do the whole show. But at least I was grateful that, I had stuff going on and like that went on. And so that was, but my bandmates, who were mostly reliant on live music, it was very hard. Like
I was feeling bad because I think so much you could do live. I mean, on Facebook Live and Insta Live.
Yeah,
because it's not the same.
No,
it's not the same, and people were trying to do few things and try to
yeah.
survive, and I felt bad that
Yeah, I did all the Zoom shows and all of that. But it's so weird, in the Zoom show, you're looking at the camera and it's like all
and
these
also
people,
there's a delay.
Everyone's on mute.
There's a delay.
And then you can't even get the reaction. It's very weird, and like they have to be on mute, and like maybe they can wave and like.
Filmmaking is a little
not
bit
the
different.
same
Maybe you can create like a bubble and then shoot
It
and
worked.
stuff like
It
that.
worked. Yeah,
But
that
in
worked.
terms of because people, for example, you go to the wedding and people see you live.
Oh, that's different.
That's different than you do
Yeah.
anything on Zoom.
I think I appreciated it a lot more after the pandemic, definitely, because you took it for granted before that, right?
Yeah. So
after that, my first live show, I was like,
so
I've
glad.
missed this so much.
Glad. Yeah, so glad that vaccine is out there, and then we are kind of back.
Yeah.
And then you always have that fear, that it's gonna happen again.
Yeah.
And then what would happen?
Yeah.
What would you like to say to your followers, to all your followers, if you have a message for them, if you want to summarize and message, and if you want to say anything to them?
I mean, I think it's just that I have a lot of gratitude, and I'm very thankful for them for listening to my music and or just my singing. But yeah, thank you so much for all of the support. And I think as an artist, that's important to validation that you're doing okay and like you're giving the audience what they want. So yeah, and I have so much more original music coming. I'm working on like new videos and content coming up next month, and also performing with Neil in the area in New York and New Jersey.
Nice.
We have other shows coming up. We're actually playing in New York City together in June 13th in East Village. So we're looking forward to that show. And
Very good, very good. We'll follow that.
Yeah.
Well, Rini, thank you so much for this.
Thank you,
Thank you
Trushar.
so much
Thank you
for your
inviting
time.
me.
And we'll see you again, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.